Hey guys, so today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about arithmetic and some shortcuts for printing strings. So I noticed this class is getting pretty ugly, so what we're going to do is just make a new class. We'll name it fraction with a capital F underscore 01, and we're going to set this checkpoint on and finish, so that it automatically generates this main for us. And what we want to go do is go back to our fraction class and copy and paste int n 0 down to print line C and paste that into main. And then we want to take this method, copy, paste it. And a lot of your code by now is probably getting pretty ugly. So if you wanted to format it, you can press Control Shift F and it'll format. And if you can't remember that, then you can just go to source and format is right here. It'll make your code look pretty as long as it's properly syntaxed. So now you're probably thinking, what is N, what is O? I don't like those names, so generally it's a good practice to name things that make sense. So if you click on N, then right click, there's an option for refactor right here. And if you go to rename, you can rename everything that's N to num. And you could do the same thing for O. Refactor, rename. And you can type the name as den. Because numerator and denominator are the things we're going for. These are short for them. Alright, so we want to print out mixed numbers, right? So the first thing we have to do is print out the whole portion, the whole number portion of our number. So if we had 7/5, we will want we will want this line to print out the number 1. So in integer math, you can only result in integer values. So when you say 7 divided by 5, it'll give you 1. It won't give you like 1 point something 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 something. It'll give you 1 as your quotient when you're dealing with integer math. So if we take num divided by den, which this is doing, 7 divided by 5, num divided by den, that'll give us our whole number portion. Next, after we got our whole number portion, so we had 7 over 5, we take away 5 until the numerator is less than the denominator. So if we take away 5 once, then eventually 5 minus 7 is 2 over 5. 2 over 5 is proper, so we're trying to get 2 as a remainder. We're trying to figure out what we can do with num and den to get a remainder of 2. And in Java, such a operation is called the modulus operation. Modulus will say 7 divided by 5. Tell me what your remainder is. Okay. So what we want to add here, we want to add a space between. We want to add a space between our mixed number and our remainder. So now that we have our program, right click on fraction underscore 1, run as a Java application, enter numerator 7, 5, 1 and 2/5. Okay, let's see if last tutorial I was correct. About 10 over 7, 1 and 3/7. Yep, looks good. So it kind of gets annoying having to write print line. Seems kind of redundant. So what the string class has is a way of getting around that. A regular string, you could say what? You say string t equals ever. Okay? Then you could say string u equals s plus t. So you're saying u equals s plus t. S is what? And t is ever. So you're saying u is equal to the string whatever. Whatever. You can also do it like this. String v equals what plus ever. Now of course you could put that in just one string, but I'm just proving the point that you can just add two strings together. You can add two string variables together, and you can also equals take a string number and add a number to it. It changes to W. So what this will result in is the string. What's stored in W after this call is this exact string. Number colon 100. And you can also do something like this. X. Just do an empty string plus 100, and that'll give you 100 as your string. So to use this idea, we can just say print plus. And we want to use parentheses just so that to make sure that this operation happens before this operation. Because we want to divide this before we add it to this string. Okay? So we want to make sure we have the whole number, and then we'll add it to our string. Okay, so the next thing we have to do is add a space, which is what this does. So now we don't even need that. And the next thing we're going to do is add nom mod den. So we don't need to do that anymore. Let's just comment that out. And then the next thing we say is add a slash. And then the next thing we do is say add den. Okay. Since an operation happens between these numbers and an operation happens between these numbers, we want to make sure they happen in order. So we put the parentheses around them. This one is fine because it's all by itself. So this process of adding strings together is called string concatenation. And it's what's really going to reduce the amount of code you have, the amount of lines you use. And finally, you can add to this /n. And what this does is it adds a new line to your string. Slash says, I'm about to put a special character. And that special character is n, which says, put a new line at the end of this string. We could also have just gotten rid of that and said ln. It would give us the same exact result. So let's see if the way we format the string is proper or not. So we'll go to run as Java application, enter a numerator, say 10, and let's say 2. So 5 and 0 halves. So that's the proper format. So everything looks good right here. But what if someone does a run where they say the numerator is 10 and the denominator is 0? We get this red text. It says that there's an exception, arithmetic, divided by 0. The thing is that denominator, which we set as 0, cannot be on the bottom of a divide, and it can't be on the bottom of a modulus when we're doing integer math. So we have to figure out a way around that. Figure out a way where it's not going to end the program unexpectedly. So we're going to save that for the next tutorial. This is Logan Murphy, and I'll see you next time.